On this episode of the Chris Meadows Show, taxes, elections, and bombs.
It's time for the Chris Meadows Show. Greensboro, Summerfield, Jamestown, Oak Ridge, Stokesdale, and all of Guilford County. Get ready. Chris Meadows is coming to you live right now.
Hello, and welcome back to the Chris Meadows Show. It's been a few weeks, but we're ready to get going again, and we got a lot to talk about. A whole lot has gone on since our last show. In Guilford County, across all the municipalities, taxes have been the talk of the town. And if you live in Guilford County, get ready to open your wallet and turn it over and empty it out. We were about to get screwed here in Guilford County because the county commissioners and likely the Greensboro City Council and maybe the High Point City Council are about to raise your property taxes. This process of the revaluations that have come out in the last 30 days have been a cluster, to say the least. Their process has been completely flawed, incomprehensible to most people. And just to give you my personal perspective on this, the valuation on my house, according to Guilford County, has gone up 74% since the revaluation of 2022. So in 4 short years, my house has gone up 74%, according to the Guilford County appraisal team. And I'm going to get into how this is flawed. My next door neighbor, 73%. Across the street, 46%. Next door, 44%. Just a block away on the same street in the same neighborhood, 36%. So we're all within a quarter mile of each other. And we have valuations that have gone from 36% increase to 74% increase. Very similar houses, similar size, similar design and style. Someone needs to explain this process and how they arrived at such ridiculous numbers. And if you've been paying attention to any of the meetings that are televised, the city council meeting and the county commissioner meeting, the last one, there was a gentleman who told us that his mobile home, who he felt that mobile homes never increase in value, they only depreciate, but his mobile home went up over 100% on the valuation. Now, I don't know who can explain that one. He doesn't either. I don't think anyone can. No one on the county commission can explain that. So people need to get out and speak up. They need to go to these meetings. They need to send in their appeals and fight their valuations, because if the county does not change their tax rate to a revenue neutral rate, everyone is going to see their property taxes go up. And unfortunately, on the left, Democrats are going to say, well, it's only homeowners. Renters aren't going to see anything go up. That's complete nonsense. A landlord is going to pass on the tax increases to the renter. So if you're paying for your shelter, whether you're renting or pay a mortgage or own your house outright, and you pay your taxes on an annual basis, you're going to see a very large increase in that expense. And one's shelter, monthly shelter expense, housing, mortgage, rent, is probably their largest monthly expense. So again, the Democrats are pushing this narrative that unaffordability is going to win them election in November, yet they're going to increase the largest bill for just about everybody on a monthly basis. And I just don't know how they can keep that narrative going. When people wake up to higher rents and higher mortgage payments, um, I think you're just plain dumb for voting for Democrats, but that's my opinion. Now, the Democrats also claim to be the party of the poor. Well, this is going to really hurt the poor more than anyone else. And I think that those on the city council and county commission and any board that has a vote to change the tax rate, which will change someone's tax bill, if they increase someone's tax bill by the dollar amount that they go up, and I don't want to be too harsh, but if you vote to not give us a revenue neutral tax rate, I'm going to suggest that you will be known henceforth as financial rapist. And I'm sorry that may sound harsh, but you're really hurting people. And I hope people that run for office against you the next time around that you run, if you're an elected official, I hope that they use the term financial rapist. And you should get used to that term. So when we come back, I'm going to start talking about the local elections. But instead of just listening to music in our breaks, we're going to have a slide of all the county commissioners and their email addresses during the breaks. So screenshot it or pause and write down the email addresses. Contact your county commissioners and tell them you don't want to pay more property taxes. We'll be right back.
You're listening to The Chris Meadows Show. Join us on YouTube, Facebook, and Spotify at The Chris Meadows Show.
Welcome back. A couple weeks ago, we saw local elections and primaries. And just to get the easiest ones out of the way, the Guilford County Sheriff primary, we have a nominee. His name is Phil Bird. He used to be with the Guilford County Sheriff's Department for many, many years and worked his way up through the ranks. And I tell you what, if we keep the same sheriff, who's Danny Rogers, we're in sad shape. He's done a horrible job for almost 8 years, and he actually has a criminal record that would rival just about anybody he puts in jail or anybody who's arrested and put in the Guilford County jail here. So I want people to keep that in mind when they're voting. Do you want to elect a criminal again in Guilford County to be our sheriff? Or do you want someone who has a stellar record and probably hasn't ever been arrested? So we would like to see Phil Bird become our new sheriff. And so keep that in mind in November. We also had a statewide race for U.S. Senate. Michael Whatley came out of that as our nominee by quite a large margin. And he'll be going against Roy Cooper on the Democrat side. I'd like folks to keep in mind that Roy Cooper was governor when Hurricane Helene hit Western North Carolina, and he effectively ignored the people in Western North Carolina. He did a horrible job. He was a bad governor for 8 years, and I can't imagine that he'd be any better as a senator. And we need to keep him out of Washington and keep him in retirement. So think about Michael Whatley as our U.S. Senator. I think he'd do a great job. And if you're a Republican, we can talk about that another time. But Michael Whatley is the best choice by leaps and bounds over Roy Cooper. So the next race that I'll mention is the NC Senate race, District 26, which is here in Guilford County. We have I guess, 3 state senators that come into Guilford County. 2 of them are Democrats. District 26 is the Republican district, and it's been occupied by Phil Berger for about 15 years. And he is in a very tight recount right now. And the election night results, he was down by 2 votes to Sheriff Sam Page out of Rockingham County. And after the provisional ballots, um, Page extended his lead to about 23 or 25 votes. I don't recall the exact number. Canvassing is done on Friday. By the time this airs, the canvassing would be complete, and there will likely be a recount because it's within the 1% margin that any candidate can call for a recount. Now, because it's still going on, I'm not going to comment too much further on that, but I think we should all get behind the nominee, whomever that may be, after the recount is complete. It's a relatively safe Republican district, but some people, if their chosen candidate did not come out of the canvassing on top, some people have said they'll stay home or vote for the Democrat. I think that is a horrible strategy. We can't have 100% of our candidates win all the time unless you're in Oklahoma or something, or Arkansas, where everything is red. Here in North Carolina, our counties are purple, most of them. Well, some are red, but there's a lot of purple counties, especially the big ones like Guilford and Wake County and Mecklenburg. Seems Democrats rule those counties, but if Republicans got out, we can win, and we should win. So keep that in mind, and we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to talk about some national news, all the bombs going off in Iran. So we'll talk about that in just a minute.
You're listening to The Chris Meadows Show. Join us on YouTube, Facebook, and Spotify at The Chris Meadows Show.
Welcome back. Again, I hope you're enjoying the music, and please screenshot or write down those email addresses and names of your county commissioners in Guilford County and tell them not to raise our taxes. It's really going to hurt a lot of people, and I just can't imagine the number of people that will be out on the street because they're not going to be able to pay their rent or their mortgage just because of taxes. And the county commission, the budget includes a lot of fluff that they could get rid of. The same thing in the Greensboro city budget. They can get rid of a lot of things they don't need to be funding, like nonprofits. I don't think it's the job of the taxpayers to fund nonprofits of any kind. The nonprofits I know of all go out and raise money from the private sector, and that's the way it should be. But call and email your county commissioner, show up at the county commissioner meetings and the city council meetings and voice your concerns. If you don't, they're going to just say, well, not enough people showed up or not enough people appealed their valuations. So go online, appeal your valuation, and maybe we can make a change that way. Now back to some national news, international news. As we all know, the U.S. and Israel bombed Iran a couple of weeks ago. And of course, on the left, like I mentioned in my last show, after we picked up Maduro, the narco-terrorist and dictator out of Venezuela, the left went crazy. They were talking about just a few weeks prior, no kings. And then when Maduro got picked up, they were pro-Maduro all of a sudden, pro-dictator. And we're seeing that again with Iran. Iran, for 47 years, has been run by Ayatollah Khomeini, I guess that's how you pronounce his name, and his predecessor, and now his son. This regime hates America. They hate Israel. They're a terrorist state. They have funded terror across the world for 47 years. And they want to kill every Jew on the planet. That's their goal. They want to kill all Americans. That's their goal. They want everyone to be a Muslim and to believe in what they believe. Now, I don't think that's the way to be and the way to go. So, as we expand on this a little bit, the Democrats again are taking the side against America. Democrat presidents for ever since 1979 have called for Iran to not build nuclear bombs. They've all said it, every single one, Republican and Democrat presidents, but they've never done anything about it until Trump did last June when he bombed their nuclear facilities. And they started rebuilding some of that. So it was time to put a complete end to all of it. And I think this administration, along with Israel, has done the right thing. They have put Iran on their heels. They've killed 1, 2, maybe 3 layers of leadership. And I hope they keep going until they stop. We cannot let a regime in Iran or anywhere else try to eliminate every Jew on the planet. That's just absolutely crazy. And they are a threat to America and every American. They don't care what color you are, what party you are with. They want to kill you if you're an American or a Jewish person in Israel. So let's be on the side of this administration. Let them do their job. And we can't have a political party continue to be on the side of Hamas and Hezbollah and the terrorists. Remember, just a short 2.5 years ago, Hamas invaded part of Israel, and they killed babies and children. Think about that. They took babies out of the arms of mothers and killed them in front of their mothers. Why would any political party, or anybody for that matter, support Hamas or Hezbollah or terrorists? Someone's got to explain that to me. And we do have an email right there. You can email me and tell me what you think. I'll be glad to discuss it with you via email, or if you're nice, maybe I'll have you on the show and you can talk to me about it. But the Democrats have again demonstrated that they are on the side of a terrorist state, Iran, illegals over Americans, and criminals over victims. And frankly, hardworking Americans seem to be subservient to some of the parasites that are sucking off of our society and the hard work of others. So let's keep that in mind in November when you're voting. There's a lot of talk that there might be a flip in the House or the Senate. Common sense should dictate your vote. We cannot have crazy people that support terrorists and illegals over Americans and your everyday citizen that terrorists want to kill. So keep that in mind when you vote in November. And let's keep some sanity about us. And that's really all I got to talk about today. It's not a very long show. But feel free to email me, and we'll see you next time.